humbly risking yourself, gently risking yourself to the audience and to the universe and speaking truth to power. Because it's really important what you just said, not necessarily just getting stuck on the aspect of, oh, that could be my pride, no way, because I go through it too. I deal with that too. Of course, not from mother to son, but I deal with that as well. I'm not the CEO, I'm not the mom, and I'm not having my son deliver a message to me. So I just wanted to give you high honor for that too, and let you know also it's an honor to be on sharing this platform with you. Mr. Cotton said that if he had an opportunity to interview his mom, if she was still here, then he would love to do that. And that made me think about it a little bit differently. I'm gonna try not to get emotional as I sit on here and explain the other fact of, yes, some pride issues or whatever the case may be, but it's also incumbent upon me, the person who the information has been delivered to one to whom one given much is expected. So it's incumbent upon me be able to decipher the information that I'm getting and learning I'm growing with this as well and deliver it back in a digestible fashion. I heard Mr. Cotton explain that the difference between a subject matter expert and I give high honors and special thanks to Mr. Walter Cotton. I wanted to use him as an example. He said that as a subject matter expert, they can take the most complex, high level anything and condense it in such a fashion that a 2 year old can understand. And the difference between a subject matter expert explaining something that they're an expert and have years of experience with versus somebody who's a new so-called expert, if you will, or a novice in a particular, using myself as an example. So I don't want to, me as a novice trying to explain something to my mom, who's of course that title, but older than me. And it's like, well, how do you know this? Where are you learning this from? Where are you getting this from? And then, like you said, it may not necessarily have been said, but I had to do better of explaining. Well, look, this is how I figured this out. This is who gave me this information. This is how I researched it. This is how I took it and applied it, or this is how we can take it and apply it. And then we got to get comfortable with doing what you just did in real time. We got to get comfortable with risking ourselves, risking a thing or two. That doesn't mean, oh, we're going to go set up in front of the White House and something radical. That doesn't mean no. That means that we're going to take calculated information and data driven risk that says, okay, well, if we shooting for the middle, but if we land slightly to the left, we're still going to get 70% what we came for versus, oh, we're shooting for the middle, but we didn't end up even on the map. So that's the type of risk I'm talking about. I'm talking about shooting for the middle and we landing slightly to the left or right or directly in the middle. But I thank you, Mr. I just wanted to kind of highlight that because that's special that, the audience needs to hear. It's hard working with family or whatever the case may be. It's when the family isn't being teachable. Or in my case, my delivery can be a little assertive or a little aggressive or come off aggressive, but it's really just the passion. I have to tone down the passion in order for it not to come off aggressive. Uh, so yeah, that's important. Thank you.
No problem, no problem. And that's called growth, like you said. So we got to have those tough conversations within uh, your community, within your family, and like you said, you have to be open to receiving that message and also being able to communicate that message. So that is important. This is a question for both of y'all. What does generational wealth mean to each of you, not just financially, but in mindset and opportunity?
Can I go first?
Mhm.
I, maybe not even 2 years ago. Obviously, I would dare to say maybe even a year ago, but I think it was been a little bit longer. So between a year to 2 years ago, I to my cousin's church. My cousin has a church right here in Baltimore, Maryland, located at 5521 Gist Avenue. That's in Park Heights area. It's the name of it is God's Way Ministries. Um, and cousin, his name is Bishop Hawkins. Bishop Hawkins had a guest preacher come and speak. I believe it was New Year's, but that's why dates get kind of fuzzy. I believe it was New Year's of going in from 23 into 24. And during this time, the prophet from the back of the church where I was crying, sobbing, just dealing with things that my higher power had brought to my understanding while in service. The spirits were high. Everybody was, dealing with issues internally. They were dealing with outwards. It was, some shouting. Long story short, this prophet spoke over my life, and one of the things that he said was, you basically about um, something that was going on within the family. I felt like it should have been more attention paid to dealing with our house, and that was the recent situation that manifested in real life. But what I so then so that house was no longer going to be a part of our family, a part of our generational wealth. I was looking at things at such a low level. Instead of looking at what I did wrong, looking at what I should have done, looking at where I should have gone, looking at what I should have invested, et cetera, and looking and getting these things in play, if you will. And I'm like, well, during prayer and meditation and things of that nature, it was revealed to me that when he said in general, you were expecting the people that came before you, your family, to pass this down in the third. And by the time that he actually said that, I realized that it wasn't about physical, it wasn't about tangible generational wealth. The generational wealth that was needed was already passed down. The morals, values, and principles, the tradition, the courage, overcoming, all of those things was already passed down. Those seeds was already laid. The foundation was already laid. And instead of wanting to make as they are or as they should be, from my hands and from the crafting of ideas from my own mind, I wanted what I've seen other people get, but they didn't have the same experience, the same intangible generational wealth passed down, the same emotional intelligence, connection with the family. Like, yeah, the multi-billionaire might have passed down 5 houses and 5 cars to his children, but did they ever spend any time with them? You know, did they take them to school Monday through Friday, pick them up? Hey, like, did they again sit down, eat dinner at the table with them? How was your day? Because I had, and a lot of people who get these things passed down to them. Like, you'll hear these people talk about in interviews how they had the money, they had the physical wealth, but it was the things, the intangible things that can't be bought. Those were the things that, even having all of the money in the world, that they talk about still to this day, that it means nothing if you didn't grow up with what I got from Joy Williams and Theodore Williams. So I just wanted to, long story short, generational wealth, yes, it can be tangible, it can be money, it can be cars, it can be a trust fund, it can be all of those things, but that generational wealth starts inside, top to inside.
So can I just say ditto?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I could just ditto to that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. Because I've often said was a prayer warrior, and I said, she didn't leave money. But my goodness, I could see that prayer life that she led and exposed me to at a very, very young age is much a part of my inheritance. And I like to pass that on to my children, to be able to into a world that is not just tangible one, right? Um, yeah, she left my mom still here, thank God, prayer warrior. But what I've learned in that world is whatever I don't pick up and take on as a mantle, it becomes harder for my children to pick it up, that pick that mantle up and run with it, whatever that mantle may be, that we have been given by God. So yeah.
That's ma'am. So what does it mean to see your child stepping into this leadership and ownership role and taking control of it?
That's who Malik was born to be, right? His structure, his power, that he has been given, his gifts. I mean, that's who he was formed in my womb. And it's a blessing to be able to see him walking into that at 30. Malik is a man's man, right? So my prayer, wherever he has been in his journey, is for God to raise up men that could prophesy to him about his purpose and that can feed into his life on the pathway, right? He may found himself. If he find his at the school raise up a man that will be able to speak to who he is, prophesy to who he is, his purpose and his journey, because he's a man's man. He's not going to hear it as much from a woman. Not that he don't love women, he cherishes and honors women, but he's not going to hear it as much. But God, that man, like a Mr. Cotton, like a Mr. Hill, right? Like a Omar Muhammad, like he's a man's man. And when you find a man's man, they need to hear it from a man, because then they can grow, right? As that man speaks into their life, right? For whatever part of the journey. So it does my heart good to be able to see him walking in this in his 30s, right? He had some hiccups along the way. That's what we call them, right? Because back in the day, people used to say, well, what do hiccups mean? It means you're growing, right? So he's had some hiccups that spoke to his growth, right? Along the way. But I'm just grateful to be able to see that men are still pouring into him, and he's listening, he's learning, he's walking, he's taking it in, right? And the wisdom is showing at a young age. So, it really does my heart good, right? That's part of my inheritance, right? To be able to see one of the seed is doing things that it was just like, I saw it all. Did you see it? Right. When you was going to school and kind of, making some choices, did you see it? So when people say, oh, how's Malik doing? I said, he's doing well. I said, I'm grateful. And people will say, that's the power of prayer, right? Yes, that's the power of prayer and purpose and his willingness, right? He's willing. He's willing to he needs to do. Stand up. I mean, I've literally saw him falling asleep listening to a podcast or YouTube, and I'm watching this, learning that, and writing down and notes and da 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 da. It just do my heart. Does my heart good. And I was like, man, I know Daddy is just rolling over in heaven, like, son, I knew you could do it. I knew you could do it, son. I knew you could do it. So yeah, yeah. I get to smile for both my husband and I, right? So yeah, it's a blessing. I'm grateful.
That is really powerful. And I know Malik appreciate that deep down inside as well. And I appreciate it deep down inside. I felt it in my heart when you spoke that, like, feel like you're speaking to me as well. So what advice would you give other parents watching who want to support their children's growth in business?
Don't give up on your children. Don't give up, no matter what path they may find themselves at what point in time in their life. You just cannot give up on your children. Continue to be able to pray and see what it is you don't see. Because as long as you don't lose sight of what you don't see before you, because they might be doing a whole lot of stuff right now, but be able to see them in that next light where they'll find themselves. Just don't give up. You just can't give up. Because if you give up before the miracle happens, then you're going to miss out on all the promises and the blessings, right? So, hang in there. Be willing to swallow your pride, family. It's not that families can't work together. And we have to learn to, even in our insecurities as family members, because we all have them. Be willing to step away for a few minutes, let each other know, hey, I need a minute, because sometimes we might wind up saying something that we regret, and be willing to be able to say, hey, I was wrong, to apologize, and to be teachable. And sometimes to be teachable, we have to ask God for a lot of help, because again, that pride will step in the way. And we all know God hates pride. And I'm learning day by day just exactly why he does, because it is such an interrupter to the great things that he has in store for us. So, yeah, thank you. Yep.
Absolutely. So what's for Jams? What's next for you, Mrs. Williams? And what's next for you, Malik?
So I've been sitting around because I said we need to need type of reset button. Malik has brought some things to us that we need to be considering, even down to our last event. With the Christmas party toy drive. I did take some suggestions that he had given, that he had learned from somebody out in the community. He said, yeah, a guy asked me these questions and I wasn't sure how to answer them. And I was like, wow, never thought about that, right? Set my pride aside, do it the way he suggested, right? We need to do this, and this. So this year we applied that, right? Just being willing to take some more classes, right? Jump on some more Zooms. People are, things are happening out here for free all the time. And even if we're willing to invest money, right? In the learning that knowledge that we need. But we have YouTube University, right? We have a lot of things, and sometimes it's just a matter of take the time to do it and just buckling down. And Malik led by example with just shutting the world out and just saying, hey, I need to focus on this. Because one thing for sure, I'm not going to take this man's time for granted, is what he always said. He said, because this is a gift that he's even teaching this to us. So as he brings the information back to us, and as we're willing to learn more, it's some things that we need to tweak about JAMZ for 2026.
Floor.
Yes, for jams, yes. So we had a beautiful, this is the third annual Christmas party toy drive that we just had on the 20th. And I just honestly finished dropping off all of the toys yesterday. On Christmas Day, um, my partner made the kid, excuse me, partner to kid made a couple trips with my our junior partner, Amir, my nephew. I would for jams, I would definitely, that's something that we're looking to continue, as my partner said that we'd be looking to reset, hit on a few things. Um, one of those things are sponsorships. We are not a nonprofit, we're a for-profit business, but we're looking to start leveraging partnerships, looking to build more partnerships and leverage them so that we can get more sponsors. The work that we're doing in the community. Also looking to collaborate with another organization that I volunteer with called Fathers Fighting for Fathers. Um, JAMZ is looking to, we're in initial stages of talking about doing a Father's Day event. Hopefully, honestly, maybe do a Mother's Day event. I would like if we could collaborate with somebody else. But the reality is, if I could be transparent, be more transparent than we've already been. We are, as most businesses, have not turned a profit with our business. We haven't taken a salary for our business. This is our second year, going into our third year. Well, we said our second year anniversary, but going into 2026 will be our third year. We haven't. We've hired people to outsource some work here and there to do some events. Looking to partner with nonprofits that could assist us with these donations or assist us so that we don't have to charge people to come to our park. Like if we want to have 100 people at capacity, we would love for one of these corporations to come in and purchase this at a tax deductible, purchase 100 tickets at a tax deductible expense, and with, like I said, collaboration with one of these nonprofits, such as Fathers Fight for Fathers, which is a community mentorship located here in Baltimore, Maryland. Which my mentor, he was just on the front cover of the Baltimore Sun, doing some work with staff of the Baltimore Sun, the editor and publisher, Triff Alasis. And yeah, so those type of people want to contribute. They want to, but we ultimately have to also consider how we're marketing. So that's one of the other pieces or components that we're looking to add, somebody who can be fully dedicated to marketing, because we have services that people just don't have. We have services with people who have the heart that we have to see those services come to fruition that others just don't have. And that's what separates us. Not just that we're a family business, but it's just that it's the fact that we're a family business with an actual heart for being servants. So, yeah, I don't want to drag the question, but yeah.
No, that's perfect. Okay, what could you tell a little bit about what you got after your graduation from the GovCon curriculum? Do you have contract in enterprise? What did you course the curriculum?
So what I got after the curriculum was an offer to be the interim or acting chief growth officer with 1B ADM Solutions. So that's why I've been working hand in hand with, to which I don't know if you introduced this part or not, but Ratwan is not only my mentor, but he's the CEO of 1B ADM Solutions, a federal contracting firm with acquisition firm. And yes, my immediate in the GovCon was with executive coaching from you and Mr. Cotton, building out our family of government contracting entrepreneurs, and yes, that's ultimately goal to be a federal contract, a federal my own. But in our community, if just make a slight, if in our community, we often go with the ready, fire, aim approach instead of the ready, fire approach. So right now, if even if I have exited ready stage, which I don't feel I have, but even if I have, let's just say I'm in the aim stage. Aim stage to me looks like collaborating with an individual who's close in age, but exceeds my wisdom as far as this space is concerned. Government contracting, federal regulation, and learning from the direct protege of someone who has over 30 years in that space, Mr. Walter Cotton III. And I could have went that said, oh, I've learned government contracting, or I've learned this one aspect of government contracting. See you guys, I'm going to go ahead and try it on my own. Or I could soak up the knowledge that you all have from me, soak up the experience, get experience, proficient in the experience, help while also helping to build up your business on V8M Solutions and in a way that we to make a return, give a return on the investment of time, effort, and energy that you put into them. The return on time, effort, and energy that Mr. Cotton puts into them. And far too often, people that look like you and I that go into these type of situations, and we think that once we've learned a little bit, it's time to go out and venture out on our own and not bring it back. Being on your own is great, but the fact that most people, I don't say most, but let's say some people gain that information, they go and buy a nice big house with picket fence and a sectioned up, and they never contribute whether knowledge, wisdom, understanding, finances, anything, back to the situation that they came out of. They never contribute. They never look to. They definitely ain't looking to help nobody up as they lifting up their overalls. They not looking to help nobody up on the way. But coming back, going back from whatever's made it to, and saying, hey, giving it up. That's those people are the special. Those people are the ones who are looking to create lasting impact, lasting generational blessings. So me being part of a dynamic like that has been something that I literally prayed for, manifested. My mom prayed for. I'm embarrassed. I almost slipped my mind. She's been making that prayer. So it's not by chance that I found my way to you, you found your way to Mr. Cotton. It's not by chance. It's all divinely I feel ordered steps. So I'm walking these steps and not trying to rush the process, but at the same time getting prepared because the saying if you're not ready, get ready, and when you get ready, you should stay ready. So that's the spirit that I've been moving in and looking forward to keep moving and moving forward.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And so to wrap this up, guys, this was a conversation that was about progress, intention, and family alignment. So what you're seeing here is when you recognize how far you came and having the courage to think bigger together. Thank you both for sharing your story and your growth and your vision. I look forward to seeing the future with JAMZ Enterprise. I'm looking forward to see the growth between both of you guys, and I know that 2026 will be very prosperous for y'all.
We thank you
Until
so
next,
much for your time. Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you so
of
much.
course, of course, of course.